James Leiter here with Leiter Entertainment, and this is going to be the 345th video on this channel, video number 345. So I don't see a better topic to talk about than my Gibson ES-345, so happy 345 everybody. Beautiful thing about this Gibson ES-345 is today is its 16th birthday, March 26th, 2010. Came out of the Gibson plant in Memphis, and that's the day according to the serial numbers. So my guitar is officially 16 years old. It can get its driver's license in some states. Don't think it can drink yet. Maybe somewhere in Europe, but I don't know. So if you've been following this channel from the first, 10, 20, 50 subs, then awesome. Thank you for still being here, and if you're newer to this channel, thank you for being here. The thing you gotta understand is that back in the days when I was playing bars and stuff, 120 subscribers, 140, whatever it was, having that many people at a club in one night was awesome. You could actually hear the room shaking and stuff, and from whatever bands we were in or I was in at the time, it kind of worked its way up to festivals, and I performed under another name, not James Leiter, but as the performances got bigger and better, you'd start seeing 3, 4, 5, sometimes 600 people, and I'd say the most that I ever played for was maybe 1,000. Probably just, I don't know, I'd say between 800 to 1,200 people. I don't want to go crazy and say it was over 1,500, but it was a decent-sized small festival opening for a fairly large act, and the weather was an issue that day. The large act actually got rained out before they could even play, so it was just us. But 725 subscribers, man. If you have 725 people in a small room watching you play, that's loud. So I appreciate you all getting loud, and I mean, that's what it's all about. This platform is just being able to play for people that enjoy the stuff that you're doing. So that being said, I'm going to tell you about my Gibson ES-345, and this is not some sort of a highly researched video. This is a video on my guitar. I'm not going to go into super in-depth history of the instrument and of this model and all that stuff. This is just going to be about my guitar. This guitar has been on stage with me hundreds of times. I don't have an exact number. I know one band I was in, we played 270 shows or something like that. And I guess other music stuff I've done on stage, studio. A lot of the time this guitar was on stage was in about a 3 or 4 year period in my early 20s. And there's just something about this guitar that is very special to me, and it's my first Gibson. So there's that, but it also is the one I chose when I was looking at 355s and 335s and the Hagstrom and the Ibanez models of hollow bodies, and I played a lot of Epiphones too. It's the 335 shape. This one comes outfitted with the stop bar tailpiece. It's the split parallelogram inlays here, different from the dots of a 335 and the blocks of the 355. Similar to my old 355, though this baby's got a 6-position Veritone switch, and there's a couple of videos that I've done on that switch. Kind of wonders that it can do for your sound. So sonically, just an incredible guitar for on-stage recording. And in the walnut color, I always looked at it like it was like a workhorse. It's just like a workbench brown to me, and nothing flashy about it. But when you really sit and look at it, I could sit and look at this thing. When I first got it, I would sit and look at it for a long time, just long periods, until I finally couldn't anymore and I had to pick it up and play it. So, but yeah, sonically just incredible. You can hold this thing up to an amp when playing with full Marshall stacks, and this thing would reverberate. You could feel it in your chest when you hit the chords, or you could rock it down to position 5 or 6 and turn it into more of a Chuck Berry type of sound, or even a jazz sound. That position 4 is amazing. You can clean up your amp, get some Wes Montgomery kind of stuff. It goes mono and stereo. The only time I ever used it in stereo that I remember, maybe some studio times, but there was a video, The Necromancer, where I had it running through 2 amps at once. That's the one where the one guitar solo has kind of a shrill, high gain sound, and the other one is just the warmth of the 345 through the orange. So it's such a mid-rangey kind of a sound sometimes, and it goes woo when you let it feed back. So it's awesome. It's just an incredible guitar. If you hit the chords and you let those chords ring out, you're gonna get the boom of the low end. But when you play it through an orange, it's beautiful because you get the mid-range quality, and you flick the pickup switch down to the treble pickup, and you get that nice, beautiful high end in there too. Kind of shoots through all the mid-range. So I mean, there's just so much that can happen with this guitar sound-wise, and the guitar's got its own little history. There's a couple marks on it, a couple dings, scratches, some places that we played where one time guitar took a sideways dive and clipped the top of one of those Fender amps with the iron casting on it. and had a sharp edge, almost like a road case, and this guitar, boom, right off the side, left a little ding right in the neck at the 5th fret. So the middle of my finger, we'd be on stage in the dark, and if I needed to find A, and it was dark, I couldn't see anything, fretboard was, all hidden in the dark, I could just move my hand to where that little sharp edge was at the 5th fret, and it was almost like a cheat code for that guitar. Boom, you find A, just like that. It helped me really figure out the guitar neck, so it's like custom, in a way it was almost like a Braille neck. So when you're at the 5th, and you can feel it without looking at it, it helps you jump to the 7th, the 9th, the 12th, all over the neck. It's kind of a cool thing to do with the 5th there. It really allowed me to understand where I needed to go, because you can go to the A by feel without looking at anything. And there's that game where they tell someone in like a music store to pick up a guitar. Can you, without looking at it, land right on the 12th fret? So I got okay at that game, and it's because that 5th fret had the little mark in it, and it helped me locate the 12th. There was one time this drunk guy ran towards the stage after one of our shows. He fell forward, he knocked into a stool, big heavy stool, and that stool headed right towards the whole front of the guitar and almost took the whole face of the thing off. And yeah, that was a near miss. And just a few weeks ago it actually fell flat. I had it leaning on a chair. When I got up, my foot clipped the chair, and then I heard the pung with the reverberation, and yeah, the guitar fell face flat. It was on carpet, so nothing really happened, but this poor thing took a dive. It's fallen a few times, but it's always managed to get right back up, which is great. But such a versatile guitar, sound-wise. It's such a workhorse. This guitar has gotten me through a lot. It's been on several records, and again, I recorded and wrote under a different name, but Lighter Entertainment. This guitar is just all over it. It's all over the channel. It's probably the most used guitar on this channel. There was a brief period where it was the 355, and then the Artist appeared quite a bit. The Strandberg was in there, but the 345 has just been all over the channel. It's produced so many different sounds, so many colorings, so many leads, so many backups. Just plugged in DI, it's worked, and usually through the amp, but it doesn't matter the amp, the Vox AC30, the Valvetronics, the little mini orange, the big orange, it just sounds terrific. It's truly a gem, and I couldn't recommend this guitar more, honestly. Especially this year, 2010. I used to know everything about it. It had this Indian rosewood or Indian wood going on with the lawsuit that Gibson got into with the protected wood. It was something crazy that I used to know a lot about, like 16 years ago. I got it in 2011. It's one of those things you don't remember because you kind of stop telling the story when you're not in that world every single day. I used to be able to zing off all those stats about where the wood was and, the trouble that they got into and all this stuff. But now it's like, man, this thing's been with me forever. I just know the history's there. But yeah, it's a fantastic friend. This guitar has kept me sane. It's a guitar that's gotten me through the days where I've had work struggle or just life struggle, stuff going on. You just pick up this guitar and it feels like an old friend. I don't always agree with what Gibson's doing right now with the $10,000 fake check. The ones, the Murphy Lab, where they cut into it and they destroy it and make it look like it's a 72 or whatever, and you go over and you pick it up and it's $9,800 and it plays the exact same or worse than my 345. Just make a Veritone switched 345 again. Charge, $2,800 to $3,400 for it. I know you can't do that. They'll do a 345, but it'll have to be the Chuck Berry, or it'll have to be a BB King 355. It has to be somebody's model, whereas this was just, man, it's the 345, it's the model. Why does everything have to be $9,000? Gibson used to have a slogan on the truck, the working man's guitar, back in the day. Now working, and I guess if you're a CEO or dentist or a lawyer, you're Jeff Bezos, then yeah, it's the working man's guitar, working at something else, not music. But back in the day, man, this was an affordable guitar. I put a down payment on it. While I was in a band, I paid monthly for like a year and a half, and then once I had a Christmas gift, my mom and dad paid the guitar off for me, and I always remember that. My dad's been gone 11 years, and I always remember the final payment. I got a birthday card. It was Christmas, I think. I got a card, and then he handed me the invoice balanced out zero, and there's like $1,100 or something that was fully paid off, and he and my mom had paid that off for me. So this guitar means a lot to me because it was the gift of music combined with my own hard work in my first band at the time, and it's been with me for 15 years. My parents helped me get it, so I'll always love this guitar. I will always cherish it. It's untouchable to me. So thank you to the Gibson ES-345. If anybody from Gibson is watching this, great work with this one. Great work with this model. this guitar. It's been there for me. It's just, I'm looking forward to the future with this thing, and hopefully another 15, 30, however many years I'm alive, I'm going to be playing this thing. And thank you for being a part of this. If you're a subscriber, this is video number 345, and this is the Gibson ES-345. So again, thank you so much for following this channel and subscribing to it. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of this week.